When performing-enhancing drugs become a part of the game is no longer about physical achievement, but instead chemical achievement. And who can get their hands on the best drug or blood doping method? Sports will lose the integrity that they were built upon, and it will completely change the game. Good morning, fellow students and judges. My partner, Mr. Crawford, and I will be representing the negative today and firmly believe that performance-enhancing drugs, or PEDs, should remain illegal in sports because of the negative health side effects, the unfairness that they bring, and the overall danger that they might cause to Olympic and professional athletes. The resolution, as previously stated by the affirmative, is resolved that performance-enhancing drugs should be allowed for use by athletes in professional Olympic sports. We, as the negative, define performance-enhancing drugs as the definition put out by Procon.org, with that being, PEDs are various substances, chemical agents, or procedures designed to provide an advantage in athletic performance. Performance-enhancing drugs affect the body in different ways, such as enlarging muscles or increasing the blood's oxygen-carrying capacity. Despite these apparent benefits, the use of such drugs is considered both competitively unethical and medically dangerous. We, as the negative, also firmly believe that there is no substitute for good nutrition and sensible strength training. PEDs have a negative stigma that goes with them, and rightfully so. There are countless pictures of athletes from before and after their usage, and the pictures are shocking. And though Barry Bonds did use steroids, overall with PEDs, you are getting this inhumane, man-made strength that is almost as pretty much as robots being made for top performance. There are health risks as well that go with blood doping. When you increase your blood intake, you're giving yourself abnormal amounts of red blood cells in your body, which can lead to thickening of your blood, which can lead to blood diseases. The affirmative may believe also that other substances that cause such a list of health risks are legal, for example, alcohol or marijuana. However, those substances are legal. However, those substances are not taken for competition or even directly affect other people. It's when those substances are taken in a place where they can hurt someone is when they become illegal. Let's use alcohol as an example. Alcohol is perfectly legal for consumption once over the age of 21. However, drinking and driving is not legal at all. This is because an under-the-influence driver can hurt people other than themselves. They put their surroundings at a risk, much like when PEDs are taken in a competitive sport arena. Let's use the example of Lloyd and myself. Lloyd is an athlete who, thanks to the affirmative's plan, is now blood doping, while I on the other team does not. If we are two linemen against each other and he has this inhumane oxygen capacity within his body, he can hurt me as the other athlete without meaning to do so. So therefore, he does not have the chance on what can go into his body, because the PEDs affect way more than just his body. Athletes are role models in the public eye, and the ones that have cheated in the past by using PEDs should not be praised for being revolutionary if PEDs were to become legal. As well as if they are legalized for professional athletes, it will be a trickle-down effect where college athletes will start taking them in order to prep themselves for going pro. Though the affirmative's plan may not cause for a mandatory taking of PEDs, athletes will still be forced to do so. Once some people choose to use drugs to enhance their performance, other athletes have their freedom of choice infringed upon. If they want to succeed, they have to take the drug too. This is because if one person on a team chooses to take them, they get an advantage, an extra boost, and the playing field on the team is no longer equal and level. For example, Jimmy Droering, a 1988 Olympic shot putter, was caught in this contradiction. He was concerned about the abuse of steroids. And yes, I know steroids, though it's blood doping, they still have the similar effects. And he was concerned about taking the use of steroids, but he was not willing to give up his own usage of it because he didn't want to get behind. But he wished that he didn't feel the need to do so. This example just further emphasizes that with the affirmative's plan, all athletes will be forced to take these PEDs and blood dope if they want to remain at the elite level and keep their job. The affirmative may also believe that steroids in the current system, or PEDs, are hard to control and that people get by unnoticed with the current testing. However, taking away the testing doesn't help the problem. If anything, think more money should be put towards the testing, and organizations like the MLB or IOC should be strengthening their systems. If a teacher cannot control a class, they merely do not give up and let the students run free. They instead get tougher on the class and strengthen their authority. Because the NFL or MLB might be struggling to control people who are blood doping, does not mean they should let down their control, because overall PEDs cause an unfairness in support and take away in the sport and take away the integrity of it. The reasons I named above should be more than enough to show that there is no need for change when it comes to the PED policy in professional Olympic sports. If that is not enough, let me read you off some statistics that show that the public, who base a lot of decisions on morals, does not approve of the allowing of PEDs, and therefore, since they do not approve of it, there is no need to push for a need for change. According to the prestigious Gallup poll, out of 443 baseball fans, and yes, this is about steroids, but that doesn't matter because it still shows that out of the 443 baseball fans, 63% of them believed that it was a serious problem, and 23% believed it was ruining the game, showing that out of these fans, there isn't a wild support for the use of steroids or other performance-enhancing drugs, and they shouldn't be allowed in the sport. So the players who don't take them also feel cheated. As Jeff Kent, an MVP MLB player, said, "Do I feel cheated? All the non-users feel cheated." I think in a silent way, a lot of people who hadn't cheated over the years are happy with the way the media exposed the problem, and they're happy we're making progress towards evening the playing field. So overall, there isn't a wild support for legalizing it or allowing it, so there's no need to institute a new policy. The black market will always exist, and even if you allow some drugs, athletes will get around the test once again and take stronger drugs. Even if you allow something, there will always be the forbidden fruit that some athletes want that will make them better. We as the negative firmly believe that steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs should remain illegal when it comes to professional Olympic sports. They damage the body, they take